I'll start on the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to my own true love 10,000 miles away. My true love, she is beautiful, my true love, she is young. Her eyes are bright, they shine at night, and silver sounds her tongue. And silver sounds her tongue, my boys, and while I sing this lay, she's doing grand in a distant land 10,000 miles away. And it's below your winds high-o, and it's roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let your music play. I'll start on the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'll never part from my sweetheart 10,000 miles away. On a dark and dismal night, the night she left the stand, she said goodbye with a tearful eye and wrung her lily hands. And wrung her lily hands, my boys, and the good ship left the bay. Goodbye, said she, remember me 10,000 miles away. And it's below your winds high-o, and it's roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let your music play. I'll start on the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to my own true love 10,000 miles away. The sun, it shone through dismal fog, and the oceans turned to wine. May the oceans bright turn into wine while I forget my beer. While I forget my beer, my boys, and the landlord fail to pay, for I'll never part from my sweetheart 10,000 miles away. And it's below your winds high-o, and it's roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let your music play. I'll start on the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to my own true love 10,000 miles away. Thank you. So the songs I'm singing tonight are from my great aunt, Helen Hartness Flanders. She was brought up in Springfield, Vermont. She was the daughter of Governor Hartness, and grew up in learning music and playing music and having a great appreciation for the arts. In 1930, she was commissioned by the state of Vermont, by Governor Weeks, to research old folk songs that existed in our state. And at the time, it was believed there wasn't any ballads or songs that existed and people knew them. And it was her task to research and find out if, in fact, these old songs did exist. And after a year of collecting and putting the word out through newspapers and contacting professional folklorists, she discovered that she really just hit the tip of the iceberg, that there were, in fact, old ballads that came over here from the British Isles by the people that settled here in the States, or in Vermont in particular, from England and Scotland and Ireland, and they did know these old songs. They just were living with them in the households and farms, in lumber camps across Vermont and Maine and New England. And she then spent the next 30 years of her life contacting these folks and collecting songs, writing them down, and transcribing the music, and ended up with a collection of about 4,800 tunes and fiddle tunes and folk songs. So I have been spending the last 15 years researching the songs that from her collection that I really like. So you're going to hear a sort of a sprinkling of songs in the traditional style. Normally I will have accompaniment, but my great aunt believed that the voice is an instrument, and singing a cappella has its own unique style. So I'm going to be singing all these songs to you without accompaniment in my own voice. So I thought I'd start with the next song with one of the first songs that I learned back in the early 90s when I started researching them. And this is a British ballad. There's multiple versions of it around the state and in New England and throughout Scotland and Ireland and England. But this one was sung by a gentleman from East Calais, Vermont. He worked in the lumber camps, and that's where he learned it. So it's a story about a woman who falls in love with a gypsy, and she leaves her husband and her baby at home to run off with him. It's called Gypsy Davy. Gypsy Davy, come over the hills and the valleys. He sang so sweet that he made the valleys ring and charmed the heart of a lady. Rattle-daddle-dum, daddle-dum, daddle-dum, rattle-daddle-dum, dink-a-daisy. Rattle-daddle-dum to my marinka-dink-a-dum, to the mariro marinka-dink-a-daisy. Last night you came to the cold-wedded bed, and in your arms your baby. Tonight you'll sleep on the cold, cold ground, along with the gypsy daisy. Rattle-daddle-dum, daddle-dum, daddle-dum, rattle-daddle-dum, dink-a-daisy. Rattle-daddle-dum to my marinka-dink-a-dum, to the mariro marinka-dink-a-daisy. Would you forsake your true wedded lord? Would you forsake your baby? Would you forsake your warm feather bed and go with the gypsy daisy? Rattle-daddle-dum, daddle-dum, daddle-dum, rattle-daddle-dum, dink-a-daisy. Rattle-daddle-dum to my marinka-dink-a-dum, to the mariro marinka-dink-a-daisy. Rattle-daddle-dum, daddle-dum, daddle-dum, rattle-daddle-dum, dink-a-daisy. Rattle-daddle-dum to my marinka-dink-a-dum, to the mariro marinka-dink-a-daisy. So you can imagine folks singing these songs. You know, they didn't have radios back in before 1920. So the way one entertains yourself is by either playing an instrument like a fiddle, or perhaps you're going to be want to dance. There were a lot of social dances on weekends in Vermont. And they also had kitchen junkets, which were dances held in farmers' homes on the weekend, and these dances were known to go on all night long, singing, playing, and dancing, square dance type style dances. And if the singer did come and sing during that time, it was usually one or two would break up the dance with a song. And this tune I thought was really appropriate for this really long, cold winter we're having. And I grew up in Vermont and remember bitter cold sub-zero weather and staying at home and school days, having snow days and taking time off from school. But when I did have to go to school, my mother was always after us to wear enough clothes, snow pants at those days. And I didn't like to. I really liked to just have my skirt and my fishnets and so on. And it didn't matter how cold it was outside. I wanted to just keep that dress on and no snow pants. So this song I'm dedicating to my mother because it's about a young woman who gets dressed up to go to a winter New Year's Eve ball. And her mother chastises her and says, "You don't have enough warm clothes on. You need a heavy cloak." And she says, "Oh no, my scarf is enough. I'll be fine." She jumps into the sleigh with her boyfriend, and off she goes for a 15-mile sleigh ride and her boyfriend discovers something along the way. It's called Young Charlotte. Young Charlotte lived on a mountainside in a lone and dreary spot. No dwelling there for 5 miles round except her father's cot. And yet on many a winter's eve, young swains would gather there, for her father kept a social board, for she was very fair. Her father loved to see her dressed fine as a city belle, for she was the only child he had, and he loved his daughter well. 'Twas New Year's Eve, the sun went down, wild looked her anxious eyes along the frosty window panes to see the sleighs pass by. At a village in 15 miles round, there's a merry ball tonight. The air is freezing cold above, but the hearts are warm and light. And while she looked with longing eyes, then a well-known voice she hears, and dashing up to a cottage door, young Charlie's sleigh appears. Her mother says, "My daughter dear, this blanket around you fold, for it is a dreadful night abroad, you'll take your death of cold." Oh no, young Charlotte said, and she laughed like a gypsy queen, for to ride in blankets muffled up, I never could be seen. My silken cloak is quite enough, 'tis lined, you know, throughout, and then I have the silken scarf to tie my face about. Her gloves and bonnet being on, she jumped into the sleigh, and away they ride o'er the mountainside and o'er the hills away. There's merry music in the bells as o'er the hills they go. The creaking rake the runners make as they bite the frozen snow, and o'er the hills and faster o'er, and by the cold starlight, till Charles in these few frozen words at last the silence broke. Such a night as this I never knew, my reins I scarce can hold. Young Charlotte said with a trembling voice, "I am exceeding cold." He cracked his whip, which urged the steed much faster than before, and then the other 5 miles round in silence were rode o'er. "How fast," said Charles, "the freezing ice is gathering on my brow." Young Charlotte said with a feeble voice, "I'm growing warmer now." And o'er the hills and faster o'er, and by the cold starlight, until they reached the village inn, and the ballroom was in sight. They reached the inn, and Charles sprang up, and giving his hand to her, "Why sit you like a monument? What has no power to stir?" He called her once, he called her twice, but yet she never stirred. He called her name again and again, but she answered not a word. He took her hand in his, oh God, 'twas cold and hard as stone. He tore the mantle from her brow, and the cold stars on her shone. Then quickly to the lighted hall her lifeless form he bore, for Charlotte was a frozen corpse, and a word spake nevermore. He knelt himself down by her side, and bitter tears did flow. He said, "My young intended bride, I never more shall know." He flung his arms around her neck and kissed his marble brow. His thoughts went back to the place, she said, "I'm growing warmer now." He bore her out into the sleigh, and with her he rode home. And when he reached the cottage door, oh, how her parents mourned. They mourned for the loss of their daughter dear, and Charles mourned o'er the gloom. When Charles's heart with grief did break, they slumbered in one tomb. That didn't happen to me. I'm still here. Mother was nice to me. I paid attention a little bit. Anyway, apparently that song, there's a lot of versions of that tune, variants, but the theme is still the same, where the young woman dies either after she gets to the ball or just before. And but this song, this particular version that I just sang, is actually a true Vermont folk ballad. But I know that when I was traveling in Russia a number of years ago, when I sang it to a crowd there, the two Russian musicians that performed with me said, well, we know a version of that, meaning that the stories can be similar throughout the world. So I find those connections really, really fabulous, that you can find a song here in the States and it can be as far as away in Russia with the same theme. So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit with a tune called The Cursed Wife. And a lot of these songs were about relationships. And this one is about a farmer who doesn't like his wife very much. And one day, the devil comes to him and says, I want to take one of your family members away. And the farmer really freaks out, thinking, oh my God, he's going to take my oldest son. And the devil says to him, oh no, I don't want your son, I want your wife. And he goes, oh, thank God, please take her. Have at it. So this is The Cursed Wife. It was sung by a gentleman from Wardsboro, Vermont. And here we go with the farmer, the devil, and the old haggy wife. He yoked up his pigs one day for to plow, fily, fy, little phylum. He yoked up his pigs one day for to plow, and one broke away, the devil knows how. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. The devil, he came to him one day, fily, fy, little phylum. The devil, he came to him one day, saying, one of your family I must take away. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. Then said the farmer, I'm undone, fily, fy, little phylum. Then said the farmer, I'm undone, for the devil has called for my oldest son. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. 'Tis not your eldest son I crave, fily, fy, little phylum. 'Tis not your eldest son I crave, but your old scolding wife that I must have. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. Oh, take her with all my heart, fily, fy, little phylum. Oh, take her with all my heart. I hope you'll be happy and never will part. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. Well, he took her and threw her across his back, fily, fy, little phylum. He took her and threw her across his back, and he looked like a peddler a-carrying a sack. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. He laid her right down beside of hell's door, fily, fy, little phylum. He laid her right down beside of hell's door, saying, now go in and say no more. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. She saw the young devils preparing the chains, fily, fy, little phylum. She saw the young devils preparing the chains. She up with her foot and kicked out their brains. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. Then said the old devil must cast her up higher, fily, fy, little phylum. Then said the old devil must cast her up higher. She up with her foot and kicked 9 in the fire. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. Then said the old devil must carry her back, fily, fy, little phylum. Then said the old devil must carry her back. I believe on my soul she'll destroy the whole pack. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. Well, he took her and threw her across his back, fily, fy, little phylum. He took her and threw her across his back, and the damned old peddler came carrying her back. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. There's just 3 things a devil can't drive, fily, fy, little phylum. There's just 3 things a devil can't drive, a hog and a woman and bees to a hive. To my twice, fy, little phyle, go down. This proves that women are smarter than men, fily, phi little phylum. This proves that women are smarter than men. They can go to hell and come back again. To my twice phi little phi go down. Yeah, so take that, you old devil. As I said, a lot of these songs are about relationships, and so I thought I'd sing another one about a relationship between a son-in-law and his mother-in-law. And he gets in trouble with her on a cold winter night, appropriate for this really long cold winter. It's a British ballad. It was sung by a woman from Ludlow, Vermont. She learned it from her father. And she decided, though, the version her father taught her didn't really make sense, and so she had to add another verse to it to kind of give the whole song meaning. So it's called Old Tom Bling. Tom Bling was a Scotchman born, his shoes worn out, his stockings torn, his shirt was ragged, his spencer thin. This is my best suit, said Tom Bling. Tom Bling, Tom Bling, Tom Bling, hi-ho. Tom Bling had no breeches to wear, he bought a sheepskin to make him a pair. The flesh side out, the wool side in, they are charming and cool, said Tom Bling. Tom Bling, Tom Bling, Tom Bling, hi-ho. Tom Bling, his wife and her mother all got into one bed together. The weather was cold, the sheets were thin. I'll sleep in the middle, said Tom Bling. Tom Bling, Tom Bling, Tom Bling, hi-ho. But his wife's mother said the very next day, you have to get another place to stay. You can't lie awake and hear me snore. You can't stay at this house anymore. Tom Bling, Tom Bling, Tom Bling, hi-ho. Tom Bling got in a hollow tree and very contented seemed to be. The wind did blow and the rain beat in. It's better than no house, said Tom Bling. Tom Bling, Tom Bling, Tom Bling, hi-ho. Tom Bling, Tom Bling, Tom Bling, hi-ho. Thank you so much. I'm going to sing you one more song this evening, and my great-aunt not only collected in the state of Vermont, but her travels took her around New England. She went to every state, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and also in a little bit she dipped into the parts of New York State across the lake. But this song was sung by a woman from Cheshire, Connecticut, and I fell in love with this tune and just had to sing it. And when I heard her sing this song, it's called, it's another relationship song. See, songwriters today, I think, can always, the theme of love and relationships never change over time. And so whoever wrote this, and it's an anonymous writer, had it down pat, I think. It's called Young Men Are Prone to Lie. Oh, yonder sits my love, she's a charming creature. She's fairer than the rose in every feature. I'll go and see her once more, I'll win her favor, I'll do as others do. Court her love, then leave her. She looked in the glass, sees beauty fading. She saw her cheeks grow pale, to her grave she's hastening. Farewell, dear father and mother, your child's a-dying. Farewell to all around, for now I'm going. Young men are prone to lie, deceiving many. There's no believing them, oh no, not any. They flatter with their tongues, young maidens ruin. 'Twas a smooth and flattering tongue proved my undoing. Thank you very much. I'll start on the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to my own true love 10,000 miles away. The sun it shone through dismal fog, and the oceans turned to wine. May the oceans bright turn into wine while I forget my beer, my boys, and the landlord.